And we're sponsored this week by Undercover Comics and Cards. Grand opening just opened this last Halloween on 6420 Garner's Ferry Road, Suite in Columbia, South Carolina. Columbia, South Carolina's newest collector's shop. Their phone number is 839-329-802. You can check them on email at undercovercomicsllc@gmail.com. And that little QR code is for their channel at Whatnot. Hello, hello. Once again, it's this Bright Raven. It's both Raven time, and it means it's Friday. It's time for movie talk. And joining me this week, the affable John Norris.
Hello, everyone.
And you guys can't see him, but he's in my lap. The Midnight Monster is here. He wants his attention. He doesn't want to get up and be seen. But yeah, it's been kind of a weird week. We originally were going to do Jeff Bridges' comedy and our third party Chris sitting in a sabbatical, and it was his choice. So I said, well, why should we review his movie without him? That doesn't make sense. So we kind of scrambled and picked what we hope is a decent film. We picked an anime this week, and it's kind of an interesting history because it's the first pilot issue or episode of something that becomes something else later on. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But so let's start with Riding Bean, originally released in Japan in 1989, released in 94 in English. Directed by Yasao Hasegawa, produced by Toru Miura, Hiroshi Tazaki, written by Kenichi Sonoda, based off the manga featured in Monthly Comics Noisy from September 88 to February of 89. Music by David Garfield, Production Studios, Anime International Company, and Artemic Company Limited. Licensed by Animego. Released February 22nd, 1999 in Japan. We don't know the exact date in 94 for the US. Running time of 48 minutes. The version we watched somehow was only 46, but 46, 48, it's in that range. What it's about. The anime follows one day in the life of Bean Bandit and Rally Vincent as they find that they have been framed for the kidnapping of Chelsea Grimwood, the daughter of Mr. Grimwood, president of Grimwood Company and Grimwood Conglomerate. However, it is Bean's longtime nemesis, the criminal mastermind Simmerling, by various disguises, tricks, and manipulations, who is the real kidnapper, and the real target is Mr. Grimwood himself. While the police are in hot pursuit of Bean and Rally, along with Chelsea in tow, Simmerling and her teenage helper Carrie plan to make a secret getaway with Mr. Grimwood as a hostage. Can our hapless heroes find a way out of this mess?
Well, what can I say? If you love car chases and anime, you'll love this one. The best way I can describe it is it's Edgar Wright's Baby Driver meets the Blues Brothers with a little bit of the French connection thrown in for good measure. In fact, the Blues Brothers seems to have been particularly influential to the point where I read that parts of the chase scenes were actually rotoscoped from that film. And I can believe that. The show is 46 to 48 minutes long, so it can definitely be viewed in one sitting. And yet I felt it's not long enough. I think some backstory would have been nice. We see that Bean Bandit can shrug off bullets and lift cars. Well, how did he get that way? And how did his relationship with Rally Vincent begin? And I should say right here, I've not seen or read any of Gunsmith Cats. I didn't know, in fact, when Lewis picked this out, that this had anything to do with Gunsmith Cats. So, so I would have liked to have seen that. Another thing I noticed, at least in the English dubbed version, which is what I watched, is that the sound mix does not favor the music. I have my TV audio coming through my stereo at home because I really, me being a musician, I really like to hear the music. But here I found that the voices and sound effects were nice and clear, but the music was mixed way too low. Like the rock music, which should have given some extra energy to the action, to me was not very effective because I couldn't hear it very well, even with the volume turned up. So, in all, it's a meh from me.
Well, I picked this one on extremely short notice to replace Escanaba in the Moonlight, which of course had been Joseph Victor's, and we had to find something that would give us both time enough to watch it. And this was basically a pilot episode that was supposed to be a full season, but the creator, Kenichi Sonoda, repeatedly had a falling out with the producers, or there was some sort of financial backing out, so the season didn't get picked up. I suspect that had the series been produced in full, a lot of the backstory that John is wishing there was would have been presented as the series progressed. But that having been said, I think you missed the point sort of seemingly being bulletproof. His entire wardrobe, yes, even his bandana, is Kevlar lined and armored. The jacket is titanium mesh, ceramic plates, and Kevlar. The boots and jeans are Kevlar laminated, and even the bandana has a thin 4-plate in it as well. Now, that wasn't really explained in the film enough, but it's not like he's not bulletproof, okay?
Yeah, well, yes, then I did miss the point of that.
Yeah. But he's not superhuman in that way, although you do go, how the heck does he do certain things of certain feats of strength that he has? But he's supposedly not superhuman. But on to the film itself. I wasn't familiarized with the characters, or if I hadn't been familiarized with the characters, from just having read the Gunsmith Cats omnibuses from Dark Horse, well, I probably wouldn't have picked this film to begin with. But this version of the characters, this version is certainly filtered from a different perspective with Bean as a central character instead of Rally. It still leans heavily into the things that we see in Gunsmith Cats, and it changes things as to how I perceive the latter, because now I wonder if some of the stuff that happens in Gunsmith Cats was intended to be perceived and experienced by Bean instead of Rally, which would change one's perspective on some of the pervy stuff that's in that series. Because it's if you take it from a man's perspective rather than what's going on to a woman, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, here it's just as much of a frame job on Bean and Rally, but Simmerling, who's Goldie Masu in the Gunsmith Cat series, seems not just to be Bean's nemesis, but in some ways it seems like she isn't mad that Bean is not her beau. And if you know the storyline and how Goldie frames Rally and tries to mess her up in Gunsmith Cat later on, that tracks. But it's like, is she or is she not? She wants to is she wanting to trick him and just be better than him, or is she actually obsessed with him on a sexual level too? Which would kind of make sense because it's like blowing off her female lover partner later in the film. But anyway, as John points out, this is really about the car chases and the gun violence. And you did do a good job suggesting similar films, but keep in mind this was 89. Baby Driver hadn't come out yet.
Yeah, I know.
But definitely Blues Brothers with the Chicago elements. And the French Connection certainly influenced this whole thing. And I do understand what you were saying about the English dub. The music background track is considerably deadened in volume versus the voice and sound effect tracks. And that could have just been a really bad sound team on the redub, which unfortunately happens all the time with English redubbing of anime. Or it could have just been a copy we were watching on Tubi. Or it could have been deliberately deadened for other reasons, such as maybe they didn't get the licensing cleared for all the tracks on the English version. And by killing the sound, they hoped that it would get overlooked. I've known people to do that on some of the anime redubs, so I don't know. It seems weird. But like you say, the story isn't enough. I'm pretty sure we would have gotten the real thing had the series been picked up, but knowing what I know and having read the Gunsmith Cats series, and understanding had this been picked up, we likely never would have had the Gunsmith Cats series. I'm kind of glad we only got this because Rally is far more interesting and dynamic as a lead character than Bean is, in my opinion. Plus, she gets the cop's car, the GTS Cobra, in Gunsmith Cats. And even though they tell me that Bean is supposedly the superior driver, I don't see it. I think Rally's actually a superior driver, too. But, that's just me. Based on what I read in the comics. I haven't actually seen any Gunsmith Cats anime. I should probably get on that and see how they translate it over. But anyway, John gives it a 2. And I don't know. Is it really that bad, John?
Oh, I thought, I mean, I kind of know why there wasn't more, but I still wish there had been more.
Yeah. Fair enough. I gave it a 3. And of course, he's like, what kind of rating was that? Oh, come on. I have enough issues without you telling me I'm just second pedal to Rally. Which he does have enough issues without being told that.
Yes.
But I'm sorry, it's true. Okay. Next week, since we probably won't do our Friday night Thanksgiving, the weekend of Thanksgiving, I'm assuming that you will be out of town with family.
Yes.
So we're going to be able to get those November turkeys out of the way. So how about a double feature with a couple of corny all-ages comedies of the holiday theme? Hey, at least this turkey's being cooked. I think us Ravens are a little too tough for all of you. So next week, we'll review the Thanksgiving movie and a Thanksgiving Tale. And a Thanksgiving Tale is actually done by the creator of Alf. So it's not really an animated thing. It's just going to be like the puppets. So it should be pretty cool. So bring some yams, you hams. We'll probably be throwing them at the screen. And a kitty wants to say goodbye, or does he? He got up and then he goes, oh wait, no, you're on camera. I don't want to get down. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be seen. No. Here he is, folks. Here's the monster.
There's midnight.
He likes to just get covered. It's getting colder at night, and he doesn't have his fat anymore. He's lost so much weight from being sick with the kidney disease that he just wants to be held, in the evening time. He used to. He's a good boy. So that's what we're doing tomorrow or next week. Monday we will be doing the next 2 chapters of Kaiju number 8. We'll have our regular Tuesday crowdfunding. Wednesday we may have a special morning edition show with a special guest. I'll get more confirmed on that on Monday. And then we'll be reviewing what we can review on Thursday. And some of the books you're going to be reviewing are, John?
I will be reviewing Gargoyles Demona #4, Biker Mice from Mars numbers 3 through 5, and the latest Stitch series from Dynamite numbers 1 through 3.
Okay. And I'll be getting Megaton Man multi-mentions and quite a few other cool books that we didn't get to this week from last week. Strange Adventures from Vertigo from '99 will be our throwback edition. Comic Book Creator number 40, which is the Dave Stevens issue. We'll have these Peruvian comics. Instead of grab them real quick because it's on the pile, of course. Anticucho and just a second. Altiplano. So those are from Peru and has to do with Peruvian mythology and stuff. So those ought to be real interesting. And I don't know, should we do Halloween Man or should we wait until Chris decides to come back? Because it was supposed to be two. I've got 2 copies, and one's supposed to be his to begin with. So
I guess we can wait.
Yeah, I think we should wait on that one. But yeah, so there's other things that we'll be talking about as well. So that's what we're kind of looking at. So you guys have a great weekend. And if you want to reach out to me on social media, you can find me on Facebook at Lewis.BrightRaven, on the Twitter X at LewisBrightRaven2. Find my artwork at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. You're watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven exclusively on YouTube. Email is quoththeravnlbr72@gmail.com. And if I don't get back to you there, try lewisbrightraven@yahoo.com. And if you want to reach John, it's grayfigaro@hotmail.com. That's all we got for you this week. And we hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay warm. And until next time, Quoth the Raven, nevermore.
Nevermore.